at this amazing church. We came in through the gate at the back there, so I don't know what it's called yet. Let's have a look around it. I love a good church. Oh, there's a plaque there, so we'll have a look at that in a second. I love a good church and a graveyard. Good graveyard. Loads of graves we can have a look at the moment. Let's have a good old look at this church. I wonder how old it is. We'll have a look to see what it's called. Hopefully there'll be a plaque somewhere that will tell us the age of it as well. Oh, we should be able to see through the windows. That grave, 1952. That's not very old, that one. 89 years old in 1952. Well, that might be quite fresh, that one right there. Is it fresh? Oh, there's a couple of fresh ones, I think. I'll have a look at them later on. Don't think any of it's going to be open. We'll go around there in a minute. There's more around there. It's not got... Oh, the door's open. But that bit's locked. Should better look through the windows, look. Just about. See all the pews. Let's have a look. What does this plaque say? Got some gravestones chilling out in the corner here. 1916, etc. Vaults of the family of John Ricks. Gentleman died 1706, and Francesca, his wife, daughter of Timothy Cray Gentleman, owners successfully of Coswold Hall. Wow, that's interesting. Look at the windows. Fantastic windows. Look at these. These must be for people of relatively high status. Can't really see a lot of date on them. I'll have a proper look at them. I'll get carried away when it comes to... Oh, look at that. I love that. That gutter is a person, and his mouth is coming out and going down. Wow. Now if that there, who died 1706, that could be a clue of roughly how old this church is. That's 1706. So that might be roughly, give us a rough age of the age of this church, 1700s, roughly. Hopefully round the front. This is the back of it, because the way we came in, we went up a little dirt track, and there's a gate at the back of the graveyard there. So we came in through the back. So the front of the church is obviously round the front. But there's loads of graves everywhere. It's a lovely graveyard. Another one of them gutters up there, look. I love that. So cool. Star there. The way these churches were made and built, the styling back then was just impeccable. They don't do things like they used to anymore, and I think they should, because things were made much better then. You get a modern church nowadays, it's just a building, very unspectacular. But back then, there's another gate over there. Things were made a whole lot more spectacular. So this is the front. Nice tower. Are there any plaques to say how old it is?
I've got a name, Peter, and can I find out all the graves?
Yeah. Look at the gutters. It's the same all the way around.
Yeah.
So cool. More than that, round there it's 1706. Round there's a grave for 1706.
Yeah, there's a grave for 1888.
Well, 1706 beats that.
Yeah, true. It's more than 200 years old.
Yeah, well more than that.
Probably 400 years?
Look at the little faces.
Yeah. They look like a priest.
They're so cool. Modern day buildings are just boring.
They're really boring. We were talking about it in the car on our way back from the
Yeah.
Like, modern.
Little door. That's a massive shame. There's a hole in the window there. That's a big old shame. Little bit of a family bike ride to get here. Took us about 20 minutes, so I've got all the children with me this time. Don't usually have anyone with me, any children or anything, when I come and visit these churches to get the, to make these videos. I'm usually on my own, so it's usually a bit more peaceful and quiet. But never turned down an opportunity to document one of these churches because look at it. Just look at that. That's been around for, as far as we can tell, I mean, there might be older graves here. If there's older graves, that date on that plaque thing, 1706. If there's any graves that are older than 1706, then we can probably date the church to being older than, to whatever that grave is. There's always the chance that the grave was here before the church. Unlikely, but some of you church geeks might be able to correct me on that. Perhaps that is the case. Perhaps they put some graves and then thought, might as well put a church. I don't know. I don't go that far into church histories. I just love the fact that, these buildings, the churches have been here, survived 2 wars, probably more than 2 wars. There's probably been little wars around, 2 world wars, put it that way, big world wars with bombs and stuff. Survived little discrepancies probably during their time, of local discrepancies and things. Survived mini earthquakes and storms and whatever else, still standing. And it goes testament to the people who built them back then. You get a modern day building that won't last 400 years. Be lucky to get 20 years out of a modern day building. Another hole in the stained glass up there. That's a big shame. A big, big shame. But that, look at the trees. 1916, 1989. Nothing near anything that we need. Interesting, the brickwork along the bottom there compared to the rest of it. It's obviously the design of it, unless it was repaired or done whatever at some point. But graveyard. We'll have to go and have a look at that one in a minute. We will get onto the graves. I just get caught up in the church itself. I love them. I think it's interesting. Church geeks, if you are a history geek or a church geek, please comment and tell me why this is, because I've documented, the last time I counted, not all of them are on this channel by the way, but I think I've filmed and documented about 60 churches. But I tend to just film them, document them, upload some of the interesting ones, and then that's it. I haven't really learned a lot about them. I should put more effort and time into it, but I'd like to. So if you know why, the tower there, you can see, why is that made of a different brick material to the rest of the building? Is it because the tower was first, or was the building first and then they added the tower? And what era is the style from? I'd love to know. So if you know, please comment and tell me and others the reason for that kind of stuff, because a lot of the time parts of churches over the years, they have bits added on. That could be why. That's why you've got different styles sometimes in the churches. Not always, but some of the time. Anyway, let's have a little walk down here then. There's some quite old graves. That one's 2022, so that's not very old. It's only 2 years old, that one. Very nice trees. You will find, and I learned this from someone, it may or may not be true, but if it is true, it makes perfect sense. Trees like this one, for example, in graveyards, grow so big and grow so well because they're in a graveyard and they suck all the nutrients from the bodies. Listen, you tell me if it's true. It would make perfectly sense if they did, but That might just be a load of rubbish. 1916 to 1991, that one. 1916 to 1991. That's fairly old. Not as old as 1706 though. 1909 to 1989. William Bendel, also his beloved wife, Ida Muriel, 1913 to 19... So they both died in the same year. Husband and wife died in the same year, but the husband was older than the wife by a few years, but they both died in the same year. 1954 to 2019, 1944. Ah, they've got the same last names. Wife. Oh, right, that's interesting. To 2024. Mum and Nan. Right. Interesting. So it goes down there. I don't know what's over here. Seems to be some kind of zoo. We haven't looked into this yet. Looks like there's a zoo or something at the back of the church. That goes around there. We'll have a look over there in a minute. Let's have a look at some more of these graves. These ones may well be some of the older ones. Possibly. There's a very big tree amongst those ones over there, look. Let's have a look to see what's over here. That one is 1923 to 76. Oh, they're buried looking towards each other. That's interesting. 1922, that one died. 1933. Interesting. Something else which I've noticed over the years of doing this is modern graves are quite boring. They're normally just grey, flowers, something like that. I'll show you a modern one in a minute, but I don't want to be seen to be putting them down. I've just noticed the styling. Whereas the older ones were quite fancy. You know, they'd have fancy writing, you know, like a fancy shaped stone, whereas the modern ones are more just square. Do you know what I mean? Not all fancy like some of these ones over here, look. Like that one there, for example. It's quite fancy looking. That one there, quite fancy looking. I bet they're quite old. 1893, yeah. Who died? 1893. So, look at the styling of it. Fantastic. Look at the size of that tree. I wouldn't be surprised if that tree looks like it's had a fire at some point. It's probably as old as that church, I would say. Look at the size of it. That is one hefty tree. Whether it's coming across on the camera or not, that's a hefty tree. What type of tree it is, I haven't got a clue, but that is massive. Look at that little mower. That's pretty cool. Don't think that's been used for quite some time, do you? Another grave over there, 1912, 1908, 81 years old. That's I can't get over that tree. That's beautiful. Look at it. Is it an oak tree? Going by them leaves, possibly. Any what do you call a tree person? Ah, slipped my mind. How can I forget what you call someone who knows all about trees? My mind's gone completely blank when it comes to that. But if you're a tree surgeon, that's it. If you're a tree surgeon, what type of tree is that? And going by roughly what the camera's portraying it, the size of it. You know, if I go and stand up at it, look, that trunk is probably 3 times me. I don't know whether that's coming across, but how old do you reckon that tree is? If you know all about your trees, I would say that's got to be 400 or 500 years old. Got to be. Anyway, 2001. See, look, a lot more boring gravestones. They're just square stones. What's this one? It's like a funny shape. Look at that one. See, that's more like it. 1949 to 2015. That's a nice styling. Nice bench over there. And what's this one? 1820. 1820, that one. It's like a cask thing. It's like a tomb. Got a tomb. So apparently they've been inside. I'm going to go inside now. Apparently the church was built in 1312. 1312. I think there's a church near where I live that was 1302 or something like that. This is 1312. It's just unbelievable. 1312. Anyway, let's see if we can get inside and read it and have a look inside it. I don't even know what church this is yet. There we go. Wow. It's quite rare that I get to actually go inside a lot of these churches because they're normally locked. Little plaque on the wall. Pews. I wonder if they're original pews. Notice they've got electric heaters underneath them now, which is unconventional, but an organ. It's got the organ, the altar. That's the bells. We're going to have a look at the bells in a minute. Wow, that's pretty cool. Comes with spiders as well. That's pretty good. I love the smell of churches. Look at that. That's an amazing window. Something, what does that say? The something TF Adem A April 7th 1843. That says. Don't know exactly what it is. So this looks like this could be this church. Thrandeston Church, taken sometime in the 1960s. So that is this church. The photograph was in the 1960s at some point. Quality. Absolutely amazing. I wonder what that door goes to. It's locked. It's the altar. Another memorial plaque. This brass was something on another church. Don't know where they read when the church was built. It's got electric sockets here, look. So that's the thing, you see, it's done quite well. Sometimes, that's not quite so good, is it? Electric cables there. What does that go to? It goes to that light. Sometimes I find they get the electrics put in these churches, but they do them ugly, very ugly, and it ruins the whole character of the church. But it seems to be quite good. Little door there. Those electric heaters. None of the churches around where we live have electric heaters in the pews. Plenty of cobwebs. In loving memory of another memorial plaque. Pews here. The organ. I wonder, would these windows be original, would they survive from the 1300s? That is a bloody long time. 13. I can't find the plaque that tells you when it was built. Please help our fabric fund. This pew's got tape on it. It's obviously a bit poorly. Not allowed to use that one. Fragile. Got a bit of woodworm probably. Look at that up there. Ha ha. It's got a great big crack though. Look at that crack. Oh dear. Yeah, there's a great big crack going down that wall and the other side. So perhaps the bell tower starting to move away from the rest of the church, perhaps. I don't know. I'm no expert. Cobwebs everywhere. I don't think anybody's been along this part of it for a long time. Cobwebs absolutely everywhere. Don't know what that is. Plant pots. That's where the bell ringers go. Bells will be up there. That would be cool to be able to go and have a look at the bells one day. If I ever get to a church, I've done a couple of churches where the church wardens have reached out and they've said, look, if you want to go and have a look at the bells or do anything, just contact me and we'll arrange. You can go up to the tower and look at the bells and do all that kind of stuff. So there's a couple of churches where they're not here, there's other places. I might go back to them at some point and be able to go up in the tower and look at the bells and even ring the bells. That would be great. I don't know where the plaque is. Oh, there's heaters up there as well. Look at the ceiling. Did I show you the ceiling? Don't know if I showed you the ceiling or not. Modern day buildings, they're just not built. You know, they don't put any effort into design or anything these days. I really don't think they do. Go to a modern church or any modern building, nothing like they were hundreds of years ago. No good at all now. I don't know where they read that plaque to say when it was built. No idea. Huh. So this is a list of all the vicars by the looks of it. And this is where we got the date from for how old the place is. Look, the first one, 1312, Souliard. And it's got all the dates. The next one was in, 1312 again, so it had two in 1312. The next one's 1328, Richard Ram, 1330, 1345, all the way down, 50, 23, 82. The newest one is 2002, Robert Henry Ashford, and it looks like he's still there. Wow. Very interesting. There we go. That's the place. So, unless our maths is wrong, it's 1312 to 2025, which is at the moment I'm filming this, 723 or something years? 700 years. That's a long time, man. I think one of the oldest churches I've actually documented on this channel. So, there we go. Thanks for watching, you lot. We've actually got to go inside that one, which is quite rare. I'm going to work towards going in the ones I mentioned, where I might be able to go and ring the bells, look at some bells from some other churches. I'll work on that in the next couple of months. Look at this. Fantastic. If you like old churches, old buildings, exploring places and things like that, stick around, there's a button for that. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. All the best.